coach and a freelancer for the last couple of years, and I see the freelancers who are getting into the market. Most freelancers are not. I also take care of brand, social media in my 9 to 5. With that experience, I also teach people how to become social media managers, help them improve their skills as a business coach. So in the last few years, I have had some learnings from being a social media manager myself and helping over 500 people become social media managers. So this video will be the only video you need in 2024 to become a highly paid social media manager. Every single thing that you know, every single thing that you need to know, every single thing that makes you better from the rest, differentiates you from others, I am going to be speaking about it. I have written down my notes and points, and I'm going to be explaining each and every single thing in this video. So sit tight, start making notes, and we're going to cover each and every aspect of being like very skilled, highly paid social media manager. In the last few years, I have been noticing a trend where social media managers are just overall being managers or glorified assistants. They do what the client tells them, and the client does not have a good idea about social media, of course, right? They specialize in something else. So as a social media manager or like a social media creator, our goal should be to help these people. Our goal should be to enhance and amplify what they are doing with our skills, knowledge, and expertise. So there is a saying that there are a few things that you can do for clients that will help them, or that will help you make more money from your clients. The first one is save them time. The second one is save them money. The third one is make them more money. And the last one is save them from any loss of prestige, loss of fame, or loss of any intangible value from their lives. So these are the 4 things that you should aspire to help as a social media manager. Right, so let's get started. Posting on social media, commenting, engaging with people, auditing are the basics. They are the hygiene of being a social media manager. It does not mean that you are becoming a full-fledged social media manager. So what actually entails being a social media manager? What are the qualities that you should be doing? What are the things that you should be looking at? And what are the skills that you must possess? So here are things that you must have. A good understanding of social media. What works on each channel. Of course, you cannot predict what is going to come and what is not going to work, etc. But a general idea of what each platform stands for, what sort of content can go on LinkedIn, what sort of content can go on Instagram, similarly on Twitter or X, and finally on YouTube. Each and every piece of content should be put with an intention and not just because you have to post on social media. Which also means you have to be great at designing graphics, you have to be great at making good quality videos. You have to understand Instagram analytics detail by detail, go into each and every detail and see how you can improve it. This video is going to be a masterclass in shaping your thought process around that. I am not here to teach you the basic of how to optimize bio, etc. I am pretty sure any of you who are looking at this video will already be able to do that. So let's start. So let's start with step 1. Step 1 is understanding the basics of each and every channel. And when I'm talking about channel in this video, I am going to be focusing only on 4 channels, which is LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, because I believe these 4 channels are doing the best, especially in India. Of course, based on your understanding, you could choose one channel. So let's get started. Instagram is a channel which has more business owners, content creators, influencers, e-commerce owners. So if you are trying to be a social media manager your niche could be these sort of people, coaches, freelancers, who you could help them manage their social media accounts. For Instagram, the primary focus is usually on videos and high quality carousels. Both of them are working very well at the moment. It can be supported with great keywords. The second step is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is mostly for registered business owners, employees, founders, right, and larger companies, of course. So if you have a more B2B focus or bigger company focus, you could be on LinkedIn as a social media manager. You could be targeting companies directly instead of individuals. You will have more individuals on Instagram. On LinkedIn, you will be targeting businesses. Of course, you target individuals, but the goal is to work with the business. LinkedIn is mostly a text-based format with some LinkedIn has mostly been a text-based format, but it's experimenting with video content, which is already live in most of the Android devices and in some of Apple devices as we speak. LinkedIn is going to be a great platform if you want to put just text-based content first, just thoughts and insight, and extremely relatable stories for acquiring customers. So that is LinkedIn. Twitter is short form content plus extremely long form content if you have a paid Twitter account. So Twitter is usually for founders and small business owners. So it can have a little bit of an overlap with LinkedIn and Instagram. But if you're focusing on Twitter, you will have to ensure that your content is very precise, it's very to the point, and it's very thoughtful. Because you have to write all of your content in 1 to 2 words, 1 to 2 lines. You have to be very precise. You have to hone your thought processes, and you have to connect with people, and you have to ensure that you follow and connect with the right set of people, because Twitter can also be a hub or a breeding ground or hub for negativity. So you have to ensure that you choose the right set of people to follow and engage with. And YouTube, if you're a social media manager for YouTube, you essentially help video content creators create on YouTube, create videos, you create thumbnails for them, you understand the YouTube algorithm, what works for them, long form video, short form video, what sort of content is working for them, how do you package the content. So you can be a social media manager for any of these platforms. First step is to understand that you, as a social media manager, you do not need to be a generic social media manager and try and manage all of these platforms. You could specialize in 1 or 2 of these platforms which you feel you can understand better. So choose what you feel, what you understand better. And I have a very humble request: do not choose Instagram because do not just choose Instagram blindly because most people go for it, right? There is enough scope on Twitter, there is enough scope on LinkedIn, and there is more than enough scope on YouTube. So choose 1 or 2 of these channels and help out people in managing their social media channels. So the first step is understanding all of these channels. Write down what you want to achieve out of each of these channels. How will you help people achieve these? Understand, keep upskilling, keep learning about these channels and algorithms. When you watch more videos, when you read more content, you will understand how it is progressing. And one more tip is that each and every CEO of all of these companies actually releases updates on what is their focus for the next year, for the upcoming year, for the next quarter, etc. Try reading those documents because they are going to help you a lot with your content creation, because you will understand where the direction of this channel is going. Your North Stars should be a few goals that you set for yourself, and please try and understand it will not be followers in the beginning. It will always be how many people you can reach. It'll always be the quality of content. It'll always be engagement. If the clients that you're working with are trying to tell you that followers should be the only goal or leads should be the only goal, as a social media manager, unless you specialize in that, do not focus on that. As a social media manager, you have to stick to one or two core offerings that you specialize in. Even if somebody asks me right now to generate leads of social media after using social media for 12 years, I cannot do it. The reason is because I don't specialize in that. That has not been my core. What I try to do is create content that resonates with people, create high value content. Hopefully this video is exactly going to be that helps you create, that helps you become a highly skilled social media manager. And then I hope that you can like me, and then you can and hope that you can like my video and subscribe to it, right? So that is the goal. Focus and understand what your strength is. My strength is content creation. To add to that, I am improving my skills. I'm adding some technical skills like content writing and video editing to my portfolio of skills. Is because imagine this video without any animation, without any edits, without any cuts, which can be like this, and something with animation, with backgrounds, with sound effects, with music, with a lot of understanding and explanation given in the video itself. It makes a world of difference, and I am upskilling myself to do that. Once I can establish my Instagram channel and YouTube channel, I have started both of these, or especially Instagram, from scratch because I wanted to learn again. I have done it for my employer brands. I have grown their brands to more than 100k plus. But I wanted to do it for myself. Often what happens is social media managers don't focus on their channels. You should do it a little bit, at least have a very solid content strategy in place so that people know about you and people can see and get inspired by your content. I deviated from the topic. The second step 2 was setting goals for yourself and being very, very clear on what are these goals that you are going to be focusing on. It can be impressions, like I spoke about impressions, reach, or video views. It can be engagements. Track each and every video or static piece or text piece on if there is an increase in each and every video. So for example, my goal is definitely to get 1,000 followers or 1,000 subscribers on YouTube in 1 year and 1,000 subscribers in 6 months for my Instagram channel. But more than that, I'm focusing on each and every video to start getting 2,000 views in the beginning and slowly upgrade or slowly go up by 5% week on week, which means by the end of the year, the videos could be reaching 5k, 10k and more. So my goal is not just solid or one time, mine is incremental also, which means that every single quarter, every single week, every single month, every single quarter, I have to see if the video quality, the quality of content is improving or not. In that case, I will ensure that I will know that the videos are working. Step 3. Step 3 is to try and understand your audience when you do for a client. So basically, try and understand your client's audience. Who are they? Do a competitor research of your clients' competitors and what are the sort of people following them. Those sort of people will be following your client as well, or for your channel as well. So ensure that you have a very, very deep understanding of your client profile, a very deep understanding of your client's competitor profile. You have a very deep understanding of who are people who are followers, who will stay with you, who will stick with you, and who will be the ones who will start becoming your community. Right? So these are the things that you must remember. Essentially, there are 3 things that you have to focus on: consumer research, consumer or client research, competitor research, creator or content research. What type of content is working essentially for each type of creator, each type of competitor. Write that down, note each and every single thing down, and experiment with those in your video. Try and understand which of these things can work for you, and it can only you can only figure it out if you try it out for yourself. So that is something that you have to do for yourself as a social media manager. So So this is what happens when you plan only a little bit ahead and actually forget the things that are needed for the shoot. I had forgotten using my mic, so from this segment onwards you will find my video quality, my audio quality to be slightly better because I am speaking with my mic right now. And sorry for this. Hopefully from the next video onwards I'll remember it and I'll use it for the entire video. Okay, so coming to step 3. Step 3 is understanding the anatomy of a good creative and a good video. A lot of social media, I have seen portfolios of over 200 social media managers, and I have to say that 99% of them did not have great creatives. You cannot expect to stand out of the crowd if you are using these sort of creatives. The creatives are basically, the first things that social media managers create just in order to create a portfolio and just in order to start getting clients. For your portfolio, you have to ensure that you have the best design possible and not as per you, as per client standards, as per industry standards. Because if you have to be a highly paid, highly skilled a social media manager, video editor, or a graphic designer, you have to be better than the market. That is how you will get selected by clients, and that is how you will get paid more than anybody else is doing. So step 3 is to understand the anatomy of a great creative and a great video. In the next segment, I will show a few creatives and show a few creatives and videos that have really great quality, high quality editing and designing, and we will break them down into why these work. So the principles, I will not talk about it here. We will move on to the next segment. So the anatomy of So essentially, a creative or a graphic static has a few components that you should be taking care of. The first thing is understand the brand palette, the color scheme, brand identity, having logos, all of these things. So the first thing is to understand that. Just because you have 2 colors in your portfolio, in your brand portfolio, doesn't mean you have to use those colors all the time. Remember, these 2 colors can become accents. So if I have pink and yellow in my portfolio, in the creatives that I'm doing for Instagram, for YouTube, that doesn't mean I should use a combination of pink and yellow. That means that I can use black, white, gray as background so that there is more readability. I can use light peach, I can use a lot of these colors, right? Brand guidelines are meant to ensure that people recognize your brand, but it is not meant for people to get stuck with just a few colors or just a few icons, themes, etc. Explore. There's a huge canvas to explore, and please understand these things: colors, fonts, typography, elements like vectors, illustration, etc., negative and positive space. All of these things are extremely important. And I forgot hierarchy. All of these things are extremely important when you are designing creatives. In a video, ensure that the video is shot in 4K or even 1080p if you're uploading to Instagram, because it takes only 1080p, 30 fps. Ensure that your camera lens is always clear. If you're using a camera, if you're using your mobiles, ensure that the lens is always clean and clear before shooting. Take care of all of these things before you start shooting. Right. The next step that you have to do is that understand what quality of videos or what type of videos are working on social media. At the moment when I'm speaking about it, there are videos which has great captions to it, which has explainer in the background, which you will be seeing a lot of it in this video also. Because when I am talking, I can tend to get monotonous. And by I mean any content creator, any person who you are helping as a social media manager, can tend to get boring, monotonous. Why will people continue to listen to you? It is because every few seconds you introduce an element that keeps the intrigue on, especially for long form content. especially for short form content, because when people are scrolling through Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, you have to ensure that they stick on even for those 90 seconds. Most people are doom scrolling and they will scroll through the video in 1 second if that does not intrigue them. So the quality has to be great, the quality of content has to be great, the hook has to be great, the CTA has to be great. So we've spoken about statics, we have spoken about videos. Now we will move on to text-based content. In text-based content, again, a few things that matter is that be precise, be to the point, start with an amazing hook, amazing story, amazing fact, or an amazing data point. Any of these things, depending on the type of your type of your storytelling skills, the type of content that you overall create, and finally the entire story, try to make it compact. Or even if you're writing a lengthy story, ensure that it has a context, it has an introduction, it has a meat to the story, and then there is some conclusion. Right? You have to understand that when people spend so much time in reading through your content, they want something out of it. One more thing you have to remember while you create content as a text creator for like your clients, this is called ghostwriting. Ghostwriting essentially means that you write the content for somebody and that person, your client, posts that as their own content. This is what happens on YouTube also, this is what happens on Instagram also. But since people are the faces of those videos, like if somebody had written the script for me for this and I was speaking it out, so people will not call it like a ghostwriting, etc. For LinkedIn, since you can't see a face and you can just see the text, this is called ghostwriting. Ghostwriting again is a part of being a social media manager. You can pick that up. It's an extremely high paying skill because there are a lot of founders, startup owners, business owners and CEOs, CXOs or different senior leadership people who want to write content on LinkedIn or Twitter, but they don't have the time or the expertise to do that. So you can help them build a content strategy and start creating content for them on these exact same things. So ghostwriting is again a lucrative option if you don't want to just manage creatives, etc. or videos, etc. Always remember that each of these things I am talking about so that it can reach out to a larger audience, but this is not for one particular person to pick up all of these things. Let's say if you focus on Instagram, focus on the video and the statics part of it. Although you should improve the quality of your content, what I've spoken about in the last section for LinkedIn and Twitter might not apply to you fully, right? Remember to always tell a story, have an interesting hook and actionable CTA, but beyond that, try focusing on improving the quality of creatives and video. Which leads me to step 4, which is improving the quality of your thoughts. As a social media manager, most people that I am seeing right now are just glorified assistants or executors. They do not think what can make a brand better, what can make a client's brand better. Whatever the client writes for them or tells them, they do it exactly that. They don't even think about one single thing that can be added to improve the quality of the content. So that is where my problem is. While I work with a lot of these students, clients, etc., who are trying to be social media managers, remember one thing: as a social media manager, freelancer, you have to start making your own decisions. You have to start having an opinion, standing for something. You have to create content for people and be an expert for it. Like if I am the client and if I tell you that as a social media manager, do these 5 posts, you cannot simply rest by doing these 5 posts. You have to research for ideas, you have to see competitors, like I've spoken in one section before. See what others are doing, see what is trending on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter or YouTube. See if that can fit in for my brand and recommend those ideas. Recommendation, quality of ideas are extremely important if you want to be a highly paid social media manager. So here are few things that you must know to improve the quality of your thoughts, the quality of your writing. the first thing that you have to do is think of the end user who is going to consume this content. So for example, the content that I think the people who will consume this video is going to be social media managers who might not be getting a lot of clients, who might be stuck at a certain income level. So I have created the entire content basis that, and I have done research. I have spoken to so many social media managers, written their pain points down, and I have made notes. Here are the notes from which I am actually creating this entire script. This video is not fully scripted. It has only talking points that I have written down about, because I know these are the things that the social media managers are facing, because I am also one. So I understand each and every pain point, and everything that I'm speaking about, I would have made that mistake myself. So that is something that will always be there. The first thing is to think of the user, think of what they need, what their pain points are, create content based on that. Don't create content just because what I want to do. Like for example, I want to do lighting, videography, cinematography, but that if I'm targeting the clients who are just starting off, might be too difficult for them. Maybe they cannot invest so much, or maybe they cannot do that much because they need to earn money immediately. For me, earning money immediately is not a goal, because I have a job. So keeping these things in mind, I have created the content, and same things has to be done for you, done by you for yourself or for your client. The second thing is understand the reader-writer relationship. This was taught to me by my mentor Supriya, and this simply means that understand what stage the reader is at, or what stage the consumer is at. Is he a newbie? Your content should be simple. Is he at the same level as you? My video is for newbies and for people at the same level as me, right? So I cannot be telling that, hey, because I myself earn maybe between 25 to 50,000 per month. I cannot be targeting social media managers who are already earning 2 lakh rupees, right? Because they know more than me at this point of time as a freelancer. So I'm not targeting. So the third level is what I spoke about, high paid, like they will be experts. So you understand which level of content you're writing for. So for example, if I am talking about this video, and if I am creating content for newbies and mid-level people, my content has to be more simple. But me, as let's say a LinkedIn ghostwriter, I am writing as a CEO, right? If I'm writing for other CEOs, I have to establish authority, I have to establish thought leadership, I have to actually sell myself in a way that people understand me as an authority, people understand that I know something about the space and I have an opinion. So that is extremely important, right? But as a CEO, if I'm writing to the new joining employee of the company, then it has to be simple, it has to be motivational, it has to be very few points which can just get them started. So you have to understand this relationship where a consumer is at and reach that point. So what happens when you are writing for somebody who is an expert or who's writing for an expert? You have to do your research. You cannot just be a basic social media manager working at your level of understanding. If you're writing about a topic, if you're going to be talking about AI or social media tools or anything, you have to know more than the person that you are creating content for, and then the consumer that you're creating the content for. This will happen in two ways: understanding your client better, interviewing them, getting as deep as possible, do a call with them if that is possible. And the second thing is read as much as you can, as many articles, content, watch videos, everything that you can do to improve the quality of your understanding, which is why I told this section is about improving the quality of your thoughts. And if I have not spoken enough about this in the entire section and overall video, read more, watch more high quality videos, and write every single day. If you're doing it for Instagram and YouTube, ensure that you're writing more scripts. If you're doing it for Twitter or LinkedIn, ensure that you're writing more posts. Ensure that you at least write 15 to 20 minutes every single day. That's more than enough if you can do that. So as per Sahil Bloom, there's a method that he follows. It's called 30 for 30. If you want to learn a skill in 30 days, do it every single day for just 30 minutes, right? That 30 minutes can be easily divided into, let's say, 15 minutes of research, 15 minutes of writing, 15 minutes of understanding the audience, doing audience research. But do it every single day. Do practice that skill of analysis, reading more, doing research, writing, etc. That will help you become a really great content manager, social media manager. Step 5 or section 5, the biggest thing in 2024 is videos. The biggest thing in 2024 and beyond is videos. If you are watching this in 2024, if you're watching this now, you have to understand that you have to understand videos at this point of time. Even if Twitter has not promoted videos yet, even if LinkedIn is just trying it out, there is a general industry understanding that everybody is moving towards videos, and people are focusing on videos because it's just much more easier, more relatable, more personal. You can connect more with that person, and just because the attention span of people is reducing, it's difficult for people to read a book, but they can watch a YouTube video, they can watch an Instagram reel, and that is how you can catch on to the attention of people. It is the attention economy after all, wherein people pay for attention. People pay if you can get their attention and provide them with value. So in videos, a video can be divided into a lot of parts. The first part I've spoken about right now, which is understanding videos, doing research, competitors, clients. Just refer to step 3, where we are dissecting videos, graphics, etc. to understand that. The second bit of it is scripting. Scripting is extremely important process, and most of us are not great writers. So we have to see how we can improve the quality of our scripts, how we can make it concise scripts. Like, even I have a tendency to ramble on, but I am looking at the timing. I am trying to maintain it to the duration that I want for the video. And keeping in eye, I do the same thing for all my clients, right? Instagram reels can be 90 seconds long, but the reels that are 60 seconders or shorter do well. Even YouTube shorts 60 seconders do well. So how do I ensure that I educate somebody, or how do I ensure my client educates somebody, entertains them, also retains their attention, so that people can keep coming back? So that is the skill that your script or writing a script can help with. So the second step is scripting. The third and the fourth step is lighting and shooting. While if you're doing it for a client, you might not have full control over, but you should have an input on what the client can do. You can help them tell the story. You can help them on how to improve the quality of their lighting, how can they shoot, what can be the camera angles. Even as a social media manager, which this might not be your responsibility, this can be a videographer's responsibility, or this can be the client's responsibility. Like I told you, we are trying to be highly paid, highly skilled social media managers. So we need to understand this a little bit. If you see the lighting, and if you see the overall quality of my videos itself, it's been improving over the last 1 year. It is only because I am trying to understand and I'm trying to improve these. Why? Because if I upload a low quality video with lesser explanation, graphics, etc., I am not getting views. I have to provide high quality value so that people follow me, people come to me, and I want to make this as a full-fledged content creator business. I want to be in business for the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years. For that, I have to give it the respect that it deserves by understanding more of it, right? So when I manage for clients as a social media manager, I take care of all of these things. I give them a list of b-rolls that I shoot, which I will put it in the YouTube description below. I give them a list of b-rolls. I give them a list of angles that they can shoot in. I look at the images from their house and suggest a place where they can shoot in. If they have nothing, I just try and figure out what is the most basic way of lighting up. If you see, the lighting that I am using is not expensive. The two color lighting that you see are basically tube lights, RGB tube lights that I have bought. Here is a ring light that I am using, which is very, very cheap, right? Of course, camera and mic, that's it. The only thing that I have taken care of is just trying to improve my background by adding a bookcase, right? And with this looks good enough to get started. So that level of knowledge should be there with you as well. Now moving on to a little more difficult part. Sometimes people say it's easier, but I feel it's more difficult because I'm learning that. So as a social media manager, you do not need to be a video editor. You can work with one video editor, but always remember, you should understand the basics of editing, color grading, etc., so that you can help your client improve the quality of your videos. Even if you know the basics, if you work with a video editor and can have inputs on how to improve the quality, that should work. This segment has two parts: analytics and content calendar planning. Content calendar planning should have been like, step 3 or step 3 itself, but why I have clubbed them is because these two work together hand in hand, and it's extremely important that you understand both and you create content for your client and for yourself based on both of these factors. So I cannot stress enough on how important analytics is for a social media manager or a content creator, for you and for your client. Like most social media managers, what they do is when they create a proposal for their client, they just write that I will create X number of social media posts, X number of videos, and I will do the posting, and I will do like X number of comments, engagement, etc. It's very, very mechanical. But the most important part of social media is analytics, because unless you measure and analyze what is working, you will never be able to understand that, and you will never be able to improve the quality of your content. So step 1 is to analyze each and everything. And how much detail should you go into? Let's take Instagram as an example. In Instagram, see the timing of post, see the timing of post, see the impressions, see the views, video views or reach, see the engagement, see the number of likes, see the number of comments, see the number of shares, see the number of shares, see the number of saves. This is the basic. Now go to each and every content piece and see which of them you can do that. You can see content pieces and see each of these impression, rank or see the top 3 or the top 5 and analyze what has worked for them, right? See the impressions, see the views, see the number of followers that have been generated because of each and every post. See whether videos have been working, whether statics have been working, whether carousels have been working. Even in videos, see the duration at which people are dropping off. That is your golden number. If you're creating 60-second videos but your audience is dropping off after 7-8 seconds, which means you need to do something at 7-8 seconds so that people continue to watch more. So that is how you will understand, or that is how you will be able to do more analytics. I'll talk more about it. If you have a thumbnail, See which of these thumbnails are performing, see competitors what thumbnails are doing, see the timing of the post. In the thumbnail you see what are the elements that you can change. Do you need a human face? Do you need different kinds of vectors, illustration? Do you need some kind of text? Each and every detail has to be measured. I also measure what is the music I have used, what sort of video it is, what is the angle of the camera, how much duration was it. And this can exactly be replicated for YouTube. See the duration, see at which point there is a drop off, try and cut off the video to that point or make the video more interesting at that point. See which videos are getting higher likes, see why they're getting higher likes than others. Try and create up with themes, formats of the ones that are working well and try replicating them. For LinkedIn and Twitter, higher engagement, keep having a benchmark on the number of likes, the number of comments that they are getting, and try and improve. See if you can add a creative, if that works well. Twitter might or might not work well. LinkedIn, a static creative with your face in it or your photo in it is doing really well. See if a video is working versus a static is working. I am going to be attaching a detailed list of the things that I track for myself in an Excel sheet. You can download that. If you like, you can add on to more points. If there is something that you feel that I have missed, add it in the comments below. So this was analytics. Now your content calendar should be created in such a way that it supports your analytics. It helps you understand a lot of things you might or might not get on Instagram or any of the other social media channels, which is like the timing of post, right? What is the b-roll that is used? What is the type of video it is? Which angle is the camera in? What sort of dress were you wearing, or what sort of outfit did you have? What sort of lighting you had? Each and everything, every little detail matters, and the more detailed you can make your content calendar, the more detailed your analytics will be. See each and every video, share, save, like, comment, which of them is working more, see where it's dropping off. All of these can only be done when you are analyzing it and you have one simple tracker for it. Don't rely on the native analytics for each and every platform, because first thing, everything is very different, so you cannot create a common standard template. So it's better that you create one for yourself. The second thing is that a lot of these non-tangible things, like timing of post or angles of the camera, lighting, etc., are something that you, or qualitative things that you have to write for yourself or you have to maintain for yourself. And always remember, choose one platform. Choose maximum 2 platform for a content creator or for a client or for yourself. I recently heard a quote. I was doing a masterclass by Jitendra Chaudhary, whose Instagram handle is Jitu IG Coach, and he told one thing and that stuck with me. Right? Somebody asked him that can I grow 3 channels? So he is like, brother, if you couldn't grow 1 Instagram channel, how do you think you will grow 3 Instagram channels? I know it's a little painful to hear it, but that is absolutely true. If you can grow 1 channel to 10k, 100k followers, you can grow 3 channels, right? But you have to understand one channel deeply. Like I spoke to you about in the beginning, you have to figure out your niche, you have to figure out what you're good at and stick to that, and stick to a couple of channels or formats in the channel, right? You could also niche down to just being, let's say, a video reel editor or video reel creator for your content, for your clients. You don't need to create statics. Outsource it to somebody, work with somebody who can do it for you, or you tell your client that they can hire somebody else to manage, but the quality of reel that you create will ensure that at least there is some engagement, and slowly you will see there is a rise in impressions, there is a rise in views, and there's a rise in followership, right? It has to be like that. You have to have your niche, and you have to say no to far more things than you say yes to. That's a separate topic, probably something that I need to learn myself, but I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Coming to the next step. Step 7. talks about the power of influence and community. I heard this term in a workshop or a webinar. I heard this term, the power of influence, in a webinar that I was attending, which was done by Anushka Rathod and Ayush Shukla, in which they told that when you are with influencers, powerful people assume that you are powerful too. So you don't have to just grow your client's channel or your channel on your own. You can work with people who are slightly higher, faster, earlier in the journey that you have been in, and get their support. So for example, you can collaborate with people with people in the same niche as your client. You can do a collaboration post between both of them. You can do a live video where guests like those are invited. So what happens is that slowly and steadily over time, people start associating you with those people, and your credibility, trust grows, or your client's credibility and trust grows. So influence is extremely important. You can definitely grow on your own, and most people do that. But if you see each and every creator, business owner who's become successful, and see the content that they have created, at any point of time they have leveraged this. They have either spoken about startup founders on LinkedIn, speak about meeting other startup founders. Influencers on Instagram speak about meeting other influencers, sitting with them, ideating, creators meeting creators. You see this news every single day. And why do they do it? In fact, all the podcasts, all the content that is happening right now, if you see the What the Fuck podcast by Nikhil Kamath, he invites a set of people, right? Why will you watch his podcast? Sure, he is a billionaire who is an expert in trading. You would listen to his video for that, but would you listen to his video on alcohol, on EVs, etc.? No, right? Because he might not have the authority. But he got the best in the business. He got people who are the best in that business, and that podcast became a hit, because to discuss each and every single topic that he wanted to talk about it, he could have done it. But he got the power of influence. He got influencers, leaders who spoke about a particular topic. For example, if you speak about retail, or when Nikhil Kamath spoke about retail, who better than Kishore Biyani to talk about it, right? He is the retail giant. If he did not get him, there would be no point following that podcast or listening to it, and he gets different people from different walks of life, different age groups, different successes, and pits them together. That is why that podcast is an amazing hit. So you have to understand, when you watch content, when you do research, when you read up more, these are things that you should note. Every single time that you're going through a content creator's, a client's profile, a competitor's profile, see what they did when they wanted to reach from 0 to 1. What does 0 to 1 mean? The first success that they received from scratch. So when they started building from scratch to the time they became a little more popular, it could be 10k, 100k followers, right? See what is the journey they followed, what type of content they created, what type of people they associated with, and start implementing them for you or your client. Speaking of the second part of this, coming to the second part of this segment, which is the power of community. You can associate with influencers, you can associate with a lot of people, but one thing that you have to do that will ensure that you continue getting business, and that you make money, or that you continue getting money that your clients or you must focus on, is to build and nurture the community. It is said, and a lot of examples are taken, where some people who have 1 million, 5 million, 10 million followers and are still not making a lot of money. whereas people with 100k followers, 50k followers are making far more money. They are making in lakhs and crores. The reason is because they understood the power of community and they leveraged it. They could sell courses, they could sell programs, they could sell coaching, they could sell webinars, anything that people like. But you always have to understand that at this point, if I tell you that buy my social media course, you will not buy it. But after watching this video, you probably might have a chance of downloading a free ebook, right? So that is how the funnel flows, and you have to understand that people will first watch your free content. They will see that if there is enough value that you're providing, then they will try out freebies, then they'll try out low cost things that you are associated with or that you are selling, and then finally high ticket offers, right? So you have to nurture the community in such a way that people trust you and then buy from you. A lot of social media managers or a lot of clients, right, tell these social media managers that I want to sell my product, and they have not even created one social media account. You cannot sell a product without distribution. Distribution is the people who follow you, your community, who are loyal to you. So the first step is always to build community, and the money will come. As we are moving towards as we are moving close towards the end, step 8 talks about the basic things that you must do. You should always be following trends and practices that are happening in the industry. Keep an eye on whatever is going on in the industry for your client's niche or for your niche if you are managing your channel yourself. Why this matters is because trending things is where most people attention are. If there's a dance hook step that's come, can you do that, or can you use that music? If there is a sort of video or sort of text going viral, can you repurpose that? Can you repurpose that into your content? By the way, I have an extremely interesting tool which I'm going to attach in the YouTube description that you can use to follow anybody on LinkedIn and get their most viral content in seconds. All you need to do is now take that viral content and repurpose it like your content. Please do not copy. So keeping up with trends and best practices in your niche or your client's niche is extremely important. Second is to have a goal plan. If you do not have a goal, you will reach nowhere. You don't know where to reach. So ensure that you have a goal for yourself or for your client. Understand analytics. It's extremely important. You cannot run away from, you cannot tell that you're a creative person, you don't understand numbers. You have to understand numbers on social. It's all about numbers, right? If you're putting content on social media, if it's not for numbers, then your client should not be asking you about numbers, or you should not be discussing numbers at all, right? It is all about numbers on social media, come what may. Learn more tools. I am going to be attaching an amazing list of tools, some of them AI based, some of them generic, that can help you up your content creation game for your clients itself. They're really amazing tools. You will enjoy them. Learn what music audio works. I have been creating some content on Instagram where I spoke about how music affects the mood, different sort of music that affects the story. It propels the story forward. It creates a scene. People relate to it more. People, resonate with it more. If I'm laughing, if there's a laughter sound, if I'm crying, there's a sad music. All of these amplify the storytelling and, hook people in, which people will watch more. And of course, add more videos and visuals. Like this entire video can just be content that I've stitched together of me speaking, but I have tried editing it out in a way that there's storytelling, there's explainers, there are texts that you need, there are tools that have been added. It's just to make it more engaging so that the entire 30, 40, 60 minutes that you watch can be to improve yourself. Or you watch it, right, so that the goal of the video for me is so that you can watch the entire content and improve yourself as a social media manager. the last topic, like really last. I don't have anything to say beyond that. I mean, I do have, but I wanted to keep this video comprehensive. Last thing is sales. As a social media manager, you have to promote yourself, you have to sell yourself. I am sorry if you say that I cannot create content, I cannot come in front of camera, I cannot do all of these things, right? I cannot come on video calls to meet clients. I'm really sorry. There is really no excuse to this. If you are going to be on social media, there can be days where you might not feel like coming on camera or selling yourself or promoting yourself. That is fine. You don't have to do this every single day. Batch create content, batch create your promotional messages, etc. That's absolutely fine. But saying that you can never do it, you can never move out of your comfort zone, does not work. This video has been the longest video by far that I have created. My voice is already starting to go off. It's 11 o'clock at night when I'm shooting this, and I've come home at 8:30 p.m. and then shot for the last 2 hours. Because I want this to be a business, because I want to help people, I cannot give excuses. The same way you cannot give excuses if this is your goal. If you want to improve your life, you want to be a great freelancer, if you want to be a great social media manager, and if you want to be sought after, right? It's simple and easy to be like a basic social media manager who manages to earn 20,000-30,000 rupees per month. But if you want to make 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, which is simple, it's not easy, it's simple. It's just consistently doing things every single day, reaching out to people, connecting with people, selling yourself, right? Sales is also a skill that should be added to social media management. By the end of this video, I know you might be hating me because I have probably given every single skill that you can be as a freelancer, but unfortunately freelancer means that as an employee you can limit yourself to saying I will only do marketing, I'll only do HR, I'll only do finance, I'll only do business development. As a freelancer you have to do all of these, and that is part of the deal when you take it up, right? If you don't want to be a freelancer, then you can choose to be an employee, but there's a reason that you're choosing to be a freelancer. You want to get more control of time, but there has to be a compromise. In a job you might not get a lot of time, but your work is limited. As a freelancer it's not limited, especially as the CEO of your business. You have to be present, right? So sales, please, let's all start learning sales. I am also not great at it. I always undersell myself, always underprice myself. I am also building that confidence, even though I have like 12 years of experience, right? That is because that is a skill, and it only comes with experience. It only comes when one time you charge what you really want for and people agree to it. That confidence will help you keep going forward. And with that, I am ending this video. All of these sections or steps have been to help you become a better social media manager. I hope you can take something out of this video. There are more videos that I will create content on to discuss smaller topics, communication skills, how to sell, etc. from my learning, from my experiences. So I would really love it if you can like video, if you can share comment, if you can share a comment and subscribe to this video. Actually just subscribe to this video first and hit the bell icon, because I think that's the most important thing. I would love for you to be able to see my content more. I am attaching a list of tools, a list of places to get music from, a list of places to get videos from, and a whole lot of really great things that will help you become a better social media manager and serve your clients better. Thank you so much for watching.